And we're gonna take questions after.
After everything?
Yeah, after the main stuff. Hey, everybody, how you doing? We are live.
What's
How's
up?
everyone doing today? Hello. Hello
Hi.
there. How's everyone doing? Hey, we got 11 people here. That's what's up. How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Nerdtalk Live. I have a guest with me. You hear him laughing in the background. This is my good friend, Donny. I'm going to put you on the screen right now, brother. Say what's up.
What's up?
Hey, all right. So we are going to talk about a couple things today, guys. I think you guys are going to enjoy the topics that we're talking about today. We're going to address some theories. We're gonna do a little fun little ranking towards as our main subject today, and some other movie news that came out a few days ago within the last 7 days. But before we do that, I just want to say what's up to y'all. I want to say how you guys are doing. What's up, Orange Hobbit? What's up, Timekeeper? What's up, Danny? What's up, Psycho Dragon, DJ Johnson, John Mark, MSV? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys so much for being here right now. 6 p.m., man. What do you guys, you guys must have nothing to do if you're here. all jokes aside, thank you guys for being here. Yeah, man. By the way, if you guys would like to ask questions, I don't have the Discord link right now. As a matter of fact, I should probably just grab that because I should have grabbed it beforehand. Donnie, I messed up. I messed up. I was like, I was like, yes, I'm good. I have everything down packed now. I'm not messing up today.
Everything, sadly.
You know what? That's the sad thing about live streams, or the funny thing about live streams, is that you always tend to make some form of a mistake somehow, unless you're like super professional and you're like never make a mistake. You follow a script, you know. Like how people in Collider used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Follow a script. Used to do, because they don't do it no more. but you know, following a script and all that, like, unless you're doing all that, which is nothing wrong with that, but
yeah,
you know, you can veer off a little bit. But no, but unless you're doing that, you're gonna make a mistake. So, but how you guys doing? You guys excited for the Oscars? We were actually gonna talk about the Oscars today. We were thinking about it. But neither of us have seen any or all of the nominated movies. So I wrote the film title. I did something wrong. Did I write I did what? DCEU film? Nah. I think I typed it right. I typed it right. Okay, I typed it.
You did.
I typed it right. Don't scare me like that. Do not scare me like that. But what's up, guys? Those who coming in, this is my friend Donnie, Donovan, whatever you guys feel like calling him. He's right here on the screen. You guys can see him. And we're going to talk about it today. So I think we should just get straight into this thing, brother. I think we should just go straight into this thing and do our first topic. You have anything you want to say to these guys, Donnie?
Forgive me if my choices for some of these are terrible to you. We'll see how this goes.
Okay. All right. So, first topic of the day, guys. We're going to be talking about Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. So, yes. Donnie, you know what? Since you actually brought up this topic, I feel it's only right that you start everything with this. I feel like it's only right if you take the lead on this and tell these people what's going on with that.
Okay. Apparently, there is a rumor going around that Sam Raimi is set to direct. And there's also reports that a Rick and Morty writer is set to take over the script for it. So, I am very excited for Sam Raimi alone. As for the Rick and Morty writer, I'm not too sure. I guess we gotta wait to see how Loki comes out. But the Sam Raimi directing part is just getting all my fanboy hypeness like through the roof, because I am a big fan of Sam Raimi's Evil Dead and his Spider-Man. So.
Okay, well, then let me ask you a question. Donnie. Do you think? Okay, for people like me, I'm gonna give my opinion on this real quick. So I'm a little suspect on the situation. I'm a little bit reserved
Yeah.
with how I feel about Sam Raimi to direct Doctor Strange 2, because like you were telling me earlier before we started about Spider-Man 3 not being completely his fault and it being the
Yes.
studio's interference and stuff like that. So I'm like I'm a little still thing. So the question I have for you is should people trust in Sam Raimi right now after Spider-Man 3?
I think they
Do you
should.
think they should? And if they should, why?
Because he didn't want multiple villains, which is always the main complaint. He didn't want multiple villains. He didn't want even a dance scene with Venom because he didn't want to include Venom. So there would have been no dance scene if Sam Raimi had his way. And part 4, well, I know we're going on part 3, so I'm not going to try to skip over, but part 4 would have included Mysterio, which they ended up doing anyway. And it would have been a whole separate thing. So it would have been a whole universe of villains. And I feel like that's what everybody wants. It's just that one little area of dance scenes and multiple villains just ruined it for everyone. And I don't blame you because it's not great.
Well,
but
you know what? That's the funny thing for me. But like the whole dancing scene in the third movie. As a kid, I thought it was funny. Like I thought it was extremely funny as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like awkward or anything because those movies. And don't get me wrong, like. The first 2 Sam Raimi movies were amazing in my opinion, and that was the first ever Spider-Man movie that I saw. The first ever superhero movie that I saw. It was exciting for me.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, the third one, like not understanding too much of the lore, because I didn't read much about the comic books until I was like maybe in my early teens is when I started reading more about the Spider-Man stuff. So as a kid, I just thought it was funny. But as an adult now, rewatching the movie, I was like, I was like, what? What is happening right now?
yeah, I understand.
But Survives on Pizza Rolls actually mentioned a good point. There would be no meme.
That's true. That's
the best thing to come from that was that we got a meme. But on the subject of Sam Raimi doing it, I mean, I guess you're right. Like the first 2 movies were pretty all right. Like they were good enough for me, I feel, to trust the process and maybe trust him to write it. Do you think he has a capability to really expand on this ever-growing universe and the whole thing with Doctor Strange too? Because that like we said, it's kind of a touchy or a tricky type of movie to make.
Yeah.
And do you think Disney will let him do what he has to do? Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your thoughts, man.
That's the problem, is the fact that if the studio steps in again, then once again we have a whole nother Spider-Man 3 situation, and it ends up ruining it for Sam Raimi once again. So if you just let him do what he does, like just have fun with everything he's doing, I feel like it'll end up being exactly what it should be, which is just a fun movie that doesn't necessarily have to go super dark with its horror elements. Because he did Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness was like creepy, but it wasn't like terrible. It wasn't, Evil Dead. So I don't know. I feel like if they trust him enough to let him, have creative control enough, that it'll end up being exactly what it should be, which is a fun movie altogether.
Okay. I mean, look, man, I'm gonna be real, man. Like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's called the Multiverse of Madness. We need it to be mad. We need it to be crazy. And I keep forgetting the last director who did the first one, the one that left for creative differences. What was his name, man? The first director for the first one. Oh
man. Yeah,
his name is slipping. His name is slipping me. But him leaving for creative differences, because he couldn't get to make what he was trying to make, and then there was speculation that Disney was getting involved and getting their hands in there, and not letting him do what he wanted to do with the movie. That kind of scares me because I feel like regardless of who they get, if it doesn't go the way they want it to go with their formula, they're not going to do it. And even if they do it, again, which goes with Rise of Skywalker rumors, if they do end up doing it, they're going to cut out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the movie becomes disjointed, and looks ridiculous. But I'm not trying to be too. I'm not trying to be too negative. Scott Derrickson, thank you so much, Javon. I'm not trying to be too negative about it. I actually do have some optimism for this because, as you mentioned, like he did good. He's responsible for us getting our very first like super amazing superhero film. I feel like we had Tim Burton's Batman before, we had all that stuff before, but I feel like a movie of that scale hasn't been done before. Spider-Man, the first one. I don't think one has. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I feel like a movie that had a really big impact. There hasn't been one like that since that movie. Especially for a lot of people like millennials and Gen Z kids and stuff like that. That movie is what really got a lot of people like myself and you and other people into comic books, I feel. Did you see that movie when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Did that kind of get you into the comic book thing or
no? That made me want to be Spider-Man for like 3 years after that. But it's like I feel like the combo, and like June is saying in the chat right now, the combo between Raimi and just Kevin Feige might work. Like, I mean, I don't know if that's what June is saying. He's saying he should stick to the format, but I think if he's sticking to a format, and at least if they agree that it's a mutually good format, it could be a really good thing for the franchise in general.
Well, so, you know what's crazy though is Doctor Strange did not stick to the format.
True.
That movie pushed the boundaries.
True.
Of superhero filmmaking. It pushed the boundaries of what was safe for Marvel. Because Marvel relied on funny, cheesy jokes, which we all enjoy. Like I still very much enjoy the MCU. It's the best. I feel like it's literally the best. Like nothing stands up. The only thing that I feel like can come close to competing against the MCU is the Star Wars franchise. To be honest, that's just my opinion. That Game of Thrones, those are like the big ones. MCU, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, right? Star Trek maybe for some people, but Doctor Strange really pushed the boundaries for Marvel and testing the waters and doing a bunch of weird teachings and weird types of, philosophical and ideological, I can't pronounce the word today, and just like spiritual beliefs and all this kind of different weird types of beliefs and systems and stuff like that was like never done before in Marvel. So it was a big risk they took with that movie, which is why a lot of people kind of felt weird seeing the movie at first. I remember going to watch a movie in the theaters, and some people came out. They were like, "It's okay."
Yeah,
True. So if they don't deliver like that, and I feel maybe Disney didn't want to take a risk again with Scott Derrickson because he probably was like, you know what, we did this in the first movie. Now let's have like some extra weird stuff in this. He probably wanted to do some weird, demonic, weird looking stuff. That did not, and it probably might have, honestly, I feel like he was probably going in a more darker direction, and Disney was like, we don't want that. That's what I feel in my heart.
True.
And June said, I feel like Guardians already pushed those boundaries before Doctor Strange. Do you agree with that?
I do to some extent. They switched up the formula when it came to introducing things that didn't necessarily have to be explained right away. Because I feel like a lot of the MCU had a lot of explanation before Guardians and before Doctor Strange, and then after that it was just like, you'll figure it out eventually. Like that's kind of how it just started playing out. Mm-hmm. And then like even with the whole quantum realm and now the multiverse and the next one, and it's like they started doing that more often after Guardians. So I do agree with what June is saying.
Okay. I mean, I can agree to some extent, but the only reason I would still put my money, and back up Doctor Strange more is just because that movie literally, I feel, because, Guardians of the Galaxy dealt with planetary things like the universe, and like this was the first time that we left Earth. I feel, well, no, that's not true. The first time we left Earth was in Asgard with Thor, I think that was the first time we left Earth. Was when Thor came around. Yeah, and they were on Asgard. So I think that was the first time we left Earth. But after that, like going to different planets and seeing different species and all that stuff, like yes, Guardians did that. But I feel that Doctor Strange, because it dealt with a lot of mystical elements and a lot of spiritual stuff that people follow in the real world, Like if you notice, they had like Hand of Fatima, and they had like flower symbols, and they had like a bunch of things that like a lot of people do in like spirituality and like
Yeah.
shamans follow and stuff like that. I feel like that was a really big risk for Disney, putting all that weird, mystical thought process and stuff out there for the general fans and children. I
Yeah.
feel like, because if I ask a lot of kids who are into MCU, if I get a chance to talk to them, like a cousin or a friend, like something like that,
Yeah.
if they liked what are their favorite movies, and none of them would ever bring up Doctor Strange. And if they don't bring up Doctor Strange, and I happen to talk about it, and I would ask, it was either too scary for them, too boring for them, or they didn't understand what they were watching.
Yeah.
And at least with Guardians, you got a lot of jokes. You got a lot of those Marvel things that are recurring. Those things that Marvel do all the time, like throwing jokes, throwing jabs, having a cool action sequence. Guardians had that. All right. Doctor Strange had little hints of it, but it was a serious movie. It was dealing with a villain who's not even physical. That was like you have a Dormammu, a whole spiritual being,
and he literally got killed like over and over again.
Yeah, like to a child or a teenager, and like magic and stuff like that. Like a child, a teenager, like who's not into that stuff would be confused.
Yeah.
But like if you're into it, because sometimes if you're like a teenager like me when I was a teenager and stuff watching those Marvel movies back then, like all I cared about was like boom, pow, and like that's all I care about. I wanted to see Spider-Man swing on the screen. I wanted to see this. I wanted to see that. And like Doctor Strange had those cool moments, but they had a lot of things that were like things. So I just feel that's some of the little disagreements that maybe Mr. Derrickson had with Disney. I feel like a lot of it had to do with that. And maybe if Raimi, my question is though, is like I know some directors do their research and all that, which is good, but do you think he's equipped to make a movie that can stand up or go in line with what Mr. Derrickson did in the first movie? That's the real question on that type of scale. Think about everything I've just said. Do you think that it could kind of line up? Because James Gunn got his style, and these directors have their style, and they try to keep it fluid, and they try to keep, the way they story tell the same way. Do you think it's good? What do you think? I mean, let me hear your opinion.
I feel like the reason I would say yes is because one thing that he and James Gunn have in common is that when they actually work on a project, they work on it because they want to. At least from what I can tell. From most of Sam Raimi's projects that I've seen, it's been because he wanted to. Like, because he actually wanted to work on it. He wanted to put what he felt like he could make, his impact on without necessarily, like, crippling it. So, I feel like he could. Because James Gunn does the same thing where he writes his own scripts, he writes his own versions. And it tends to work out. I mean, I'm a fan of Guardians. I don't know, if other people aren't, but I'm
a huge fan. It's my favorites. Some of my favorites, yeah.
But I have met people who said that Guardians was the only one that they couldn't like really get into, and I was like, I get it. It's cool. But I think he can personally. I'm holding faith in Sam Raimi for this one.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna judge it. I ain't gonna judge it. I just gotta see and I have to see more Sam Raimi films. Like, you gotta send me some of those movies that you saw. Maybe I gotta watch it, and like I have to watch it. Maybe it's like the whole Robert Pattinson thing. It's like people, it's like he was forever scarred because of Twilight, and then he had to work so hard to really showcase his talents after that with different indie projects and stuff like that, and most recently Lighthouse. And now I'm a fan of him, and I feel like he's a very superior actor, and and now I feel like he can do some damage in Hollywood. So I'm a believer in second chances. And like you explained this, scenario that Spider-Man 3 wasn't entirely his fault, really at all. So I understand that. And also G-Man 101, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, brother. Thank you so much. A little emoji that says cool, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the $2 in the sub chat. So I think we should do you think we have anything more to say about this, or I think we've said everything we had to say about it? Do you have anything else you want to say concerning this movie?
Totally good.
Okay. All right, guys. So we are going to go into our next topic, and that is John Krasinski reportedly gave a comment about playing Mr. Fantastic in the MCU, and we'll actually talk a little bit about Phase 5 in this one. Before, and like I said, our main topic for those who are coming in now is going to be our top 5 superhero films, and we're going to talk in depth with that. But Donnie, go ahead and take the lead on this one.
All right. So I am totally for this, and I'm not for this because I'm like, I just want to see Mr. Fantastic, but I'm for this because John Krasinski actually auditioned for Captain America.
Oh, is that true?
At the same
really?
time. Yeah, and he didn't get it. So I kind of feel like this is also a redemption in a way, or like, just making amends to the extent of giving him another dope role that he could probably like own. And especially if they use him, then I really hope they use Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman.
Yes.
And I feel like as a unit, they're perfect.
Because their chemistry shows on screen, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. They can definitely own it.
Real life couple playing a fictional couple. I'm so down for that. So down for that. I agree with you on that. What did he say though? What did he say to his report? Did he say that he was like down for it or something?
He said if they're considering him, then to keep considering him because he would be down for it, basically. So I can't quote him exactly because I can't memorize it right now. But that's the basis of everything that that he was saying. And honestly, that gets me more excited because it's not like if it's somebody who's just like accepting the role because they just got cast and they're like, yeah, sure, it's a job. Like, it seems like he's genuinely excited, and that's kind of what I like to see in movies. I don't like to like go to a movie and people are just acting, and then when they question on the role, they're like, look, it's just a job, man. Like, I get it, but it's cool to be more excited. It makes everybody else more excited.
That kind of bothers me too, to be honest. Like, if I'm watching a movie or I'm watching an interview and the guy, and then like because at first okay, you can arguably say this about you can say this concerning like Joaquin Phoenix with the Joker.
Yeah.
If you'd watch his interviews, and then again, he just really sucks at interviews, okay? He's just like, he's the worst at press, man. Like, he's the worst at doing interviews, and like, I totally understand, because like, who wants to be asked the same questions like 5, 7, 20,000 times a day? Like, no one likes that. But like, like when you asked him, like when he was asked about, his role with the Joker, he would always talk about how, he was like, well, like, what did you do to get into this role? He's like, man, like I do this. I'm an actor. Like, this is just what I do. This is my job,
Yeah.
And, but then when you hear an actor, like you rightfully said, like an actor say, yeah, man, I'm totally down for this. Like, I want to do this. Like, that's one of the reasons, like, I can forgive, like, Ezra Miller's Flash. Is because he's so passionate about playing Barry Allen. Like, he's so passionate about it. Like, he went and read the comic books. He, like, got himself into that world. So, like, it makes you as a fan, like you're right, it makes you as a fan feel more excited for something, more hype about it, more appreciation when it shows that, an actor really wants to play this role. Or even like Henry Cavill as Geralt.
Yeah.
He freaking loves Geralt. He loves Geralt. he loves him. He loves like the whole Witcher storyline. He likes it, and it makes us as fans really appreciate it too. And he loved playing Superman as well. So it always helps when an actor could like, show their interest. You're right about that. Do you feel, not even do you feel, but do you have any predictions for the MCU for Phase 5?
Ooh,
what do you want to see?
Okay, honestly, I don't want them to undo Endgame. I don't like when it comes to certain deaths. Like spoilers. I don't know. Who hasn't seen it here?
It's been out for over a year now.
Yeah, no, just in case there might be somebody like, damn it, I was waiting. But Black Widow, because of the death in Endgame, I don't want it to be reversed. But at the same time, it's kind of weird because we've seen Star Wars prequels and we've seen like prequels from other like Disney properties most likely, but Marvel so far hasn't really done prequels per se. Like all their stories normally blended into a storyline that would take effect later on. Like even
Captain Marvel was a prequel though.
Yeah, it was a prequel, but it played into what happens in Endgame, which is why she's been
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like just this whole Black Widow prequel, I feel like there's something more to it than what's like being, led on to believe. Because yeah, it takes place between Civil War and like Endgame, but at the same time, I feel like there must be something in there that's gonna blend into Phase 5. You know what I mean?
Okay. So
So
do you think that maybe they're gonna retcon her death?
I don't want them to. I really don't.
Do
I
you
feel
think they
like
will though?
huh?
Do you think they will?
Maybe. Honestly,
Maybe.
like they might be trying to find a way to bring her back, but
Mm.
I really hope they're not. I hope if what they're doing, I hope they at least introduce a character that is going to be used in a later movie.
Okay. Yeah.
That like even Taskmaster. Like if Taskmaster ends up somehow, I don't know. I don't want him to, but like joining. I don't want him to be good or anything because I like him as a villain. I'm saying,
Yeah. You gotta be a villain.
if they use him later on as somebody who like changed sides, then at least it would make sense because you're like, oh, he's in Black Widow, so Black Widow is because they wanted to introduce this character later. But
Yeah.
if it's like just for no reason and they're just kind of like filling in the gaps, then I kind of feel like it's I don't know, it's just like a cash grab at this point.
Well,
I don't
well,
believe.
no, you're not wrong about that. Because
Yeah.
when I was listening to Rosenbaum's podcast, thank you for putting me onto that, by the way. That was one of the best things you put me on, bro. 'Cause, like, I love that. I love his podcast now. Like I like his guests and like what he talks about. But and how real he gets with people. This is something I gotta say. Like he really gets down to earth with people. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But when he was in his conversation with Catherine McNamara, Mia Smoke,
Yeah.
right? His conversation with her, I don't know. Have you heard that one? Have you heard that podcast?
I still didn't get to hear it. No.
Oh man. So I don't even know if I want to say this because I don't know if I want to spoil
it's
it.
not like spoilers. It's fine.
Okay. So something he said from the podcast is true. They ended up talking about Crisis, and they talked about the whole Green Arrow and spoilers for those who for some reason haven't seen it yet or heard about it yet. But Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, dying per se and becoming Spectre and not coming back. He was like one thing he told her. He was like, "They're coming. They always come back." He was like, "Do you think that the studio is just gonna go all this time and they're not gonna come back?"
Yeah.
Like, look at Fast and the Furious. I don't know if you follow that. I don't know if you follow that. Do you follow the Fast franchise?
It's funny. I don't even watch the movies, but I know like what's happened.
Bro, my man Han died like twice.
Yeah.
My man died twice, and they brought him back. He died twice. Okay. He died in Tokyo Drift, and he died in the sixth movie. My man died twice, 2 or 3 times, something like that. And he's right. I think he's right about that, Rosenbaum. Like Disney, them saying that this is for instance, Star Wars. Oh, this is the end of the saga. This is the last Star. Like, this is not the last Star Wars movie. Yeah. I don't know why anyone ever thought it was the last Star Wars movie, or if it's gonna be the last time we see Rey, Finn, or Poe.
Yeah, I agree with
Unless something happens with the actors and they, Disney doesn't want anything to do with them again, we're definitely going to see them again. Trust me. Best believe that. They're going to have some animated, like look at that. Obi-Wan. Right?
Yeah. True.
He's back again. All right? Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Star Wars. If you want to see Star Wars and you care about the storyline, what I'm about to say is a spoiler that has been known for many years. But Darth Maul, man, like, they killed him off, and nope, never mind. Darth Maul is alive now, and they brought him back. And the first time they introduced him, and this is not a spoiler, but the first time they introduced him was in the Clone Wars, and they introduced the idea of him being alive.
Yeah,
that was the first time, and then after that, we saw the other adaptations, Star Wars Rebels, and then the Solo movie. So it's like Darth Maul was dead in Phantom Menace. Fans loved him so much. The studio, Lucasfilm was like, bump this, we're bringing him back. You know what? Nah, it's Star Wars. We'll just give him fake legs.
Yeah,
and we'll give him prosthetics. It's all good. Like, that's so yes, I do feel maybe they might retcon, this whole Black Widow stuff, and like maybe they might bring it back. And that's my fear. Like, if someone's dead, let them stay dead.
Yeah. I agree.
Let them stay dead, because it's a lasting impact on us as fans and the shows and everything.
Yeah.
So let them stay dead. What I want to see right now for MCU Phase 5 is them do proper Fantastic Four story.
Yes.
And I definitely am looking forward to the other stuff like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that's going to really like dive into like going into what's going on. WandaVision is the one I'm most curious about.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Because there's so much mystery surrounding it, I feel.
Yeah.
Like with WandaVision, they gave like a plot synopsis, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did for each of them. I don't remember what it said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it said.
You don't remember what it said? Okay. Well, I know they gave a plot synopsis, but still, like, I know she's like reality shifting. I talked a little bit about it in my last Nerdtalk a few days ago, so I did talk about that a little bit. But it's all this reality shifting stuff and all that. So you know, it's gonna be interesting. But Phase 5, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Blade. I think that's is that Phase 6?
Ooh, that's
or
a
Phase
question.
5? I can't remember what Feige said.
Yeah, I don't either. I know. I don't think it is.
Okay.
I think it's still counted as this phase because I think Phase 6 starts in what, like 2022, something like that.
So soon?
I think so, because this is Phase 5 that we're going into.
Because we're going into Phase 5. Wait, yeah. but Phase 6 so soon now? It's 2 years.
I don't know. Is it? I'm confused, bro.
No, I'm with you, bro.
I'm trying to remember I'm like have an image of the movie layout that he put up, and I'm like,
yeah.
What year is that?
Yeah, don't even just to sweat it if you can't remember. It's not worth it. But whatever it comes out, I'm optimistic. What?
Hold on, Timekeeper just said Ironheart. What do you?
Yeah, I was about to actually bring that up. I was literally just about to bring that up. Ironheart, yeah. Ironheart is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Because I like Ironheart, and I like Riri Williams. I like the character. I like that she was an MIT student. First of all, I like that she's a young African American girl. I think that's really cool. I feel like, you know, the representation factor is like really nice. But as a character though, as a storyline, I feel I liked it. I didn't have any issue with her. Like her rebuilding her own Iron Man suit, you know, for being like super young, MIT, that kind of thing. Tony Stark kind of passed on a mantle to her. I think that was cool, but I don't think we'll see Dr. Dolittle Phase 5. I can't with y'all.
That's great.
Y'all are funny, man. Okay, Gene says Phase 5 doesn't start until 2022. Okay. All right. Okay, so you were right. Awesome. Doolittle for Phase 5. I'm with it. Doolittle Phase 5. Black Widow is Phase 4 too? Is it? I thought they said it was Phase 5.
Yeah, I thought it was Phase 5.
I thought they said it was the first movie of Phase 5.
So Phase 4 consisted.
Because no, they said no. They said Endgame was the last movie of Phase 4. No. Sorry, they said
no, Far From Home.
Wasn't it Far From Home? Was Far From Home the first one of Phase 5?
No, Far From Home. Wait, what? I thought it was the last one of Phase 4 because it ended all the Endgame storyline.
Yes.
With
Okay.
Tony.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'm getting all types of confused now myself. But no, I don't think they're gonna do Riri. Just because of the connection that she had no connection with Iron Man. Like even if they do make their Riri storyline for Ironheart, or even if they do Ironheart, they might not even be with Riri Williams. It might be with Pepper Pot. It's not gonna be Pepper Pot. Pepper Pot is Gwyneth Paltrow is done with Marvel. She says. I think she says she's done with acting. I think she says she's retired now. From what I hear, Pepper is retired. From what I hear.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I heard. That she's gonna retire, but you know, a lot of these actors come out of retirement sometime. Like for my WWE fans, Edge just returned to wrestling after like 9 years, man. Like if Edge could return, then Gwyneth Paltrow can return. Okay. Sam Edit, he said, "What do you guys think about Sam Raimi coming back to MCU?" We actually just talked about it, Sam. But if you want to, just make sure to go and rewatch the stream. We kind of talked a little bit about it. Earlier. Um, but yeah, man. What was I just saying? I just totally forgot now.
Just what you're excited about.
This is why I try not to read comments when I'm in my thoughts. That's why I try to read comments after I finish what I'm saying, 'cause I get distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But anything else that you particularly looking forward to for Phase 5?
Hopefully X-Men done properly. I don't know if that's gonna be this week. I remember him saying it's gonna be a while before the X-Men are introduced again.
Okay.
But since they're doing the WandaVision show, I kind of have a little hope that they're gonna do it sooner. But
they may to add. No, continue your thought. My bad. I'll add on to what you say after. You were saying
that's basically it. It's just the fact that I feel like it might happen sooner than expected. But if they do it, I hope it's not like just rushed. I hope it's well thought out. Since it is on Disney Plus and it is different, I don't know if is Feige in control of Disney Plus shows. I'm actually not sure.
Yes, he is.
He is? Okay.
He's
awesome.
actually in control now of all of the Marvel stuff now.
Oh, okay, good.
Including the comic books.
Okay, because I was kind of
what's his name? Joseph was it Jeff Loeb or Joseph Loeb?
Yeah.
Jeff Loeb was Jeff Loeb, right? Jeff Loeb was in charge of the Netflix stuff and the TV show stuff, and now Feige's in control of all of that now. I think he's like a chief operating officer or something. I forgot what he is now. I think that's what he is now.
Just actually made a good point. Feige keep mentioning diversity in the MCU, so Riri Williams is probably like a guarantee.
Yeah, but how do you think it's going to tie into Tony Stark, though? Because you remember, they did this whole Peter Parker passing on the mantle thing.
Yeah.
And
they said 3 more movies before they bring him back to Sony, pretty much, right?
Yes. Because until they renegotiate in 3 more movies.
Yeah, true.
To keep him on forever. Until Disney finds a way to completely legally get Spider-Man back.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you guys right now, Disney is going to acquire Spider-Man back. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It will happen. I'm telling you right now. Disney is going to find a way to get their hands. I don't know. They're going to get it. I ain't going to say nothing, but they're going to get it back. They're going to get it back. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, what if they did? Because, there's supposed to be a She-Hulk show, too.
Yeah. That's for sure.
And because that's supposed to come out of the Ms. Marvel show too. We haven't heard anything production-wise for that yet.
No.
So there's all that. And to answer the Nightwing thing, the Hawkeye thing, I just saw someone said in the comments. No, the Hawkeye is not delayed. It's not delayed. Disney said it's not delayed. They said it was. They said it was supposed to still be on track. So I don't know. But. You mentioned X-Men. I feel that they may introduce the X-Men have their own Disney Plus series, and then maybe segue into movies.
True. I mean, I feel like that could be good or it could hurt it. It could go either way.
Okay, explain your points.
It could turn into like an Inhumans thing where it kind of looks a little under budget, or it's not really resonating with the fans that are like hoping for it. Or it can be really great, and then people are like, bring it to the movies. Like they wanted to do with some of the Netflix shows, and they just never did.
Well, a lot of these Disney Plus shows are getting film budgets now.
Yeah, true.
So, and Disney can more than afford. Because look at Mandalorian.
True.
Look at Mandalorian. Mandalorian was like movie quality.
That is true.
Like, we were watching... Me and Shannon, when we were watching Rogue One, we were talking about how much Mandalorian looks so much and has a similar feel to Rogue One. Not just like atmospherically, but like just the way how it was shot and like the production. Like the props looked A1, the graphics was A1, everything looked good. Hey, what's up, Cliff? How you doing?
Cliff.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they can pull it off.
Yeah,
because if they're gonna be doing a She-Hulk thing, I don't think they don't have like ABC budget and like,
yeah, true.
Like a Netflix budget, like
yeah.
I don't think so. They have movie quality budget, and I feel like they can pull it off. I feel like they can more than pull it off. However, I did see the CGI for the Christmas movie Noel, and it was bad. Ooh, it was bad. I don't know what studio is doing the graphics.
Oh man.
But Disney need to keep their stuff in-house. But I feel like for their Marvel stuff, Marvel Studios itself, once Disney gives Marvel Studios the budget, they will make the movie. They will make the show. They will do it right, I feel. Once they have the budget and they can afford to pay their visual arts guys and their VFX people and their practical people and all these people on their crew, once they can afford to pay their crew, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's point blank. They're going to do it. Before we move on to the next one, any other predictions you may have for MCU or things that you want to see?
I would like to see Daredevil in the MCU for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's something I really need.
Do you think that they're going to be either continuing or bringing them back for Disney Plus?
I don't think that at all. And that's what's sad is I want them to, but I think they're trying to like just act like that never happened.
Never happened, yeah.
And then just like reboot it. Hopefully they'll go into the movies though. Like the ones who are strong. I don't see I personally liked Finn Jones mainly because I already supported him as a person because he's like such a genuine dude. But I see why a lot of people.
And you met him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just see why a lot of people don't like think he's a good fit for Iron Fist, but I don't know. I feel like if maybe they gave him a better opportunity to do so, maybe he could prove himself. Who knows? But I do, however, want Charlie Cox to stay Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
And I think Mike Coulter, I think that's his name. I feel like I'm
Mike Coulter. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Just thought I was messing up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I like him as Luke Cage as well.
Oh yeah.
I think he's good. I think he's perfect.
So I like Jessica Jones too.
I like Jessica Jones. It's just I didn't like the writing for the show.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it wasn't the best.
It dragged, but it was still good.
I think Iron Fist's problem was the writing of the script, man. I don't even blame Finn. I really feel like I really blame the screenwriters, man. I feel like it was they didn't really give him they didn't really give him good cues, I feel, or a good script. That's just my opinion. Like ever since I was watching like some episodes in the first season, I was like, I feel uncomfortable. Why do I feel uncomfortable? I'm like, I've seen this guy act in Game of Thrones. He's good because he's actually in Game of Thrones, and I'm like, he does a good job. Like Finn Jones does a good job in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Right. But like, you saw me there, I'm like, nah, man, that's script. What are they doing?
Yeah.
I feel it was the script.
People forget that.
And Punisher too.
Yeah. Oh, Punisher! Please keep Punisher.
John Bernthal.
Oh my God,
choice. Perfect choice.
Even, if they bring him to the movies, though, I hope they bring Russo back as well, just for the movie's sake, just because I want to see that again, but like on a grander scale. But yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I need Daredevil in the movies, and I hope because I heard a rumor, well not a rumor, but like a theory that Daredevil would be Spidey's lawyer. In the next Spider-Man movie, like since he has to defend himself. From being outed like that.
I did hear something about that.
Yeah, and if that happens, I'm fangirling the whole
I agree. No, I'm the same way too. Oh man, if he even made an appearance, even if it was like even if it was a thing where he's like, Spidey's looking for a lawyer, and because I know he was his lawyer in Civil War, man. No. At some point, Daredevil was Spidey's lawyer in the comic books. At some point.
I think it might have been. I think you're right. I think you're Civil War.
If I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm tripping. But but if he showed up, it would be like they're looking for lawyers, and maybe he's like on Google or something. Like a little cameo, he's on Google searching for lawyers, and like as he's scrolling down, he sees Matt Murdock. And he sees Charlie Cox there, and he just, he sees his name and everything. Just like that would be a nice cameo. He doesn't even have to be his lawyer.
Yeah, true.
Like if I see that, I'm like, okay, so Daredevil is canon. I'm like, okay, I'm with that now.
All right, I agree with that. I'll be hyped.
So are we ready to go ahead and talk about the second to last topic before we get to our top fives?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so. Guys, we are going to be talking about DCEU ratings rising, and we're also going to briefly talk about Harley Quinn and the box office real quick, and we'll go from there. So, Donnie,
Yes.
Again, as my guest, I will have you go ahead and start first.
Okay. So
DCEU in the ratings. Go ahead.
DCU ratings, you said?
Yes, the Rotten Tomato scores.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't think that a lot of these movies are as bad as people say they are. So the ratings, I already off the back, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I don't know. I don't really agree with these.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see some of them, like Suicide Squad, for instance. Out of all the DCU films, that's probably my least favorite. Yeah, I would say that's the least favorite. And some people really stood out, which was good. And there was like I won't say that I wasn't entertained at least, but it wasn't great.
Man.
So I agree with the Wonder Woman, of course, because the Wonder Woman rating is on point in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam is definitely on point. Even though there were certain moments where I was like, this could be considered like pretty cheesy, but at the same time, it was fun. That was the whole point of it, was to be fun, and I was like, sure, I enjoy it.
Well, So
Now,
to continue, I'm gonna actually say the scores. So for those can hear. So Man of Steel, starting with Man of Steel. Man of Steel got a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I totally don't agree with. But I'll say my side of it when Donnie's finished. Batman vs Superman got a 27%. Suicide Squad doesn't need a 27%. It needs a 3%. But anyways, Wonder Woman doesn't need a 93%. It needs a 100%. Justice League 40%. Aquaman 68%. That needs an 86%. Shazam got a 90%, and Birds of Prey got an 86%. So for those who don't know, all right. So you may continue, sir.
So Man of Steel, I think, deserves just slightly higher.
Slightly, like give me a number.
I would say like a solid 70.
Okay, fair enough.
And the reason I would say that is because I can see the flaws with it, but at the same time, it was dark enough to not be Christopher Reeve's Superman, but it wasn't so dark that it was. Actually, it was pretty dark, but it wasn't so dark that it was like Superman Returns, where it's just a lot of, like, confusion. I think it was dark enough to like.
Sidebar on that real quick. I'm actually a huge fan of Superman Returns.
I do too, but it's very messy to me.
I don't even notice the messiness. That's the weird part. But anyways, yeah.
Like, just, I think they did a good thing with Superman. I'm just gonna sidebar real quick. They did a good thing with Superman Returns by having him come back. That was cool, and have it be the same continuity as the Christopher Reeve one. But I feel like there was too much that just didn't really add up with that one.
Okay.
And that's the only like real quarrel I have with it. But
what about the rest?
Okay, so Batman vs Superman, if it didn't have Jesse Eisenberg's Lex, I feel like it would have been so much better. But because it had that Lex in it, I zoned out partially too. But and I agree with Timekeeper here. Henry Cavill did alright as Superman, because he hasn't had Superman, Man of Steel was like the first time that we really saw him as screen as Superman.
Yeah.
He had the look. He was good with his acting chops. It's just we weren't used to seeing necessarily like that dark of a Superman, unless people who went to go see Superman Return. So I feel like it kind of hindered that in a way, like to make it so like, I don't know, just.
And it was like a fish out of water thing too.
Yeah.
So you kind of, you have to do what you have to do for that.
And then you got Batman versus Superman, which was, like, in my opinion, it was good up until the whole Lex situation. And then it's because Lex was, like, kind of throwing me out of it, I couldn't feel it. So, again, I feel like he didn't get his, like, time to shine that much. I kind of want him to have at least a sequel to Man of Steel. Okay. Even though Batman vs. Superman is basically the sequel, but, for just another shot. But Suicide Squad, we already know that's no, thank you. And that could be where it is. I don't mind that. Wonder Woman was good. I really liked Wonder Woman a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the ending kind of like felt weird to me, slightly.
Who's part of it?
The like the whole her floating thing and doing the whip.
Her floating.
She just like flew up in the air and like threw a rip at I forgot what his name is. Oh my God.
Ares.
Ares, thank you. Yeah. It's just that whole just.
I mean, it's normal for her powers.
Yeah, but it's just
you know,
throughout the movie you don't see her float. You see her jump really high, and have like super strength and everything like that. But you don't really see her. So I felt like it was kind of just a random action. I would have really preferred if she just like totally kicked ass for like a solid 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then did that afterwards. That would have been cool. But I felt like it was kind of just like not really much of a final fight.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
Justice League. You already know how I feel about Justice League. Like I want a Snyder cut. I'm one of those people. Yes, I know. And I want to see what it could have been. Even if they don't continue it, even if they don't do anything, just release it so I can see what could have been. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
And then judge the two. Like, was Joss Whedon's better or is this one better? Like, I just want to know. I just want to know what it could have been. Aquaman, I honestly can't really tell you my opinion on.
Really?
Yeah, like I want to see it, but
you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't tell you.
You need to watch it, Donnie.
I know.
You gotta watch it, man.
I have been so close to seeing it each time, and I just didn't because I thought that the DCEU was just going to discontinue all their story arcs anyway. So I kind of put it off.
Even if they did, though, it's still a movie worth watching. Trust me on that. It's one. I would say this to insert my opinion about it. It handled underwater fighting and underwater visuals and stuff very well.
I've seen clips and it looks very like visually pleasing.
The whole thing about how sound travels underwater and all that stuff was represented very well. I feel they did a really good job with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm looking forward to that one. I can't wait to see what happens with the sequel. And
and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
My God. I ranted about that 5 days ago, y'all. If y'all missed it.
I still gotta see that one.
Oh man, you gotta. I ranted. It wasn't one of my angrier rants, but I ranted. Yeah, and Shazam.
Shazam, greatness. I genuinely enjoyed Shazam more than I thought I would. I actually was like scared to go see it because I was like, man, I like Shazam, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be any good. And it ended up surprising me. It ended up being really good.
Mm-hmm.
The timekeeper said, "Arrow to Joss, you have failed these movies." It's gold.
Yeah.
And, Birds of Prey, I can't comment on. You got to handle this one because
So I'll actually go and I'll give my opinion on them. I'll be brief. So my Man of Steel, I share most of your opinion with it. I have it on Blu-ray. It's one of my favorites. I did enjoy the movie. It was very dark. It's not a movie that I would watch for enjoyment though, just because it's so dark and it's very slow. And that's one of the problems with the movie. It was so slow. And then when it picks up and does a good job picking up. Michael Shannon did a really good job. That was the first time I saw Michael Shannon act.
Really?
So, that's the first time. Playing General Zod was the first time I saw Mike Shannon in action. And I've been a fan of his work ever since. But, so, the movie did what it did. It brought more of a, it grounded Superman, in my opinion. Yeah. I feel, and I think that was the uniqueness about the movie, and Zack Snyder had a uniqueness about him and about that film and what he wanted to do. So I feel like there was a uniqueness with that. 56%, I do agree with your rating. I do feel it should be. I feel it should be somewhere between the 70s to the 80s, like maybe like a 75, maybe a 79, somewhere around there. But if it was a 79, it would bother the mess out of me, man. Just make it 80. But I do feel like it should be a lot higher. I don't think it was warranted of 56. I think that's a little too low.
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman. the build up for it was so amazing. It was so
Yeah.
exciting. We were like,
True.
man, like I remember when it came out, we were like, yo, man, DC's on the rise. DC's gonna catch up in Marvel in no time. If they keep doing these crossovers, man, hell yeah.
Yep.
And then the movie came out. I remember leaving and I went with my grandfather. I think that was the first time we went. And I remember leaving, I was like, yeah, it had some cool things. But then, you know, the Jesse, I was not feeling him as Lex. Like, I don't know why people can't get Lex right. Lex is so easy to get down. Rosenbaum did a good job at Lex. But, like, a lot of people just get Lex right.
Yeah.
I don't like the Lex they have right now in Supergirl, by the way.
Oh, yeah, me either.
I don't like him. But it's like, he's not Lex to me, man. Like, just get Lex right. Can we just get Lex? Can we get a proper Lex Luthor? That's what I would want. But Man of Steel definitely, I feel, deserves a 27%, man. I feel it deserves maybe a 40, because it did have some cool scenes, and the Martha scene was memed so much. Oh my god, they memed Martha so much. Like, this man like stopped fighting because of Martha.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, man, they brought a greediness to Batman that I really liked, because I read some of I'm forgetting the comics now. When Batman was a lot older.
Dark Knight Returns?
Dark Knight Returns, I believe. Was it? What was it called?
I think it's called Dark Knight Returns.
I have that comic book. I read the whole thing, man.
The Frank Miller one.
Frank Miller, yeah. I read the whole thing, but it kind of reminded me of that Batman, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I dig it. I'm really with it. Yeah. Older, more rugged looking Batman, more experienced Batman. You know, trauma, Joker, all that stuff. Like, didn't he kill the Joker in this timeline? Like, didn't he kill him or something?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Because I know
he had the Robin suit with the spray paint on.
Yeah, Joker killed him. No, I'm tripping. He didn't kill the Joker because Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
Totally wrong Joker to pair up with that Batman. Totally wrong Joker to pair up with that Batman, man.
Cliff said we're tripping because
nah, man, I don't like Lex on Supergirl, bro. I'm sorry, Cliff. We're gonna have to disagree on that one, brother. We're gonna have to disagree on that one, man. Because like I'm not a fan of his Lex. I'm just really not. I don't think like when I read about Lex Luthor in the comic books, I don't see him on there. Like Cliff, I honestly respect your opinion, man. You know me, man. Like I respect your opinion on that, you know. But I can't really rock too much with it, man. Suicide Squad. Jesus. Okay, I had to take a whole breath. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel that.
Suicide Squad was the worst. Okay, it sucked. Suicide Squad was bad. Okay.
Yeah.
There was good things in Suicide Squad, like Margot Robbie. I actually didn't mind Will Smith as Deadshot. It's kind of interesting. Boomerang sucked.
Yeah. You had the boomerang drone with the camera.
Man. What the heck, man? Nah. What's his face, man? Amanda Waller was nice, you know, but like Viola Davis who played her. But I'm like, man, bump it. Like Suicide Squad was the first movie I ever reviewed on my channel.
Yeah.
On this channel. If you guys, it's so cringy, man. If you guys go and search up Matthew V. Haynes Suicide Squad review, like you'll see it. It's so cringy, man. I was so I was a lot skinnier. I was younger, a couple years younger. But I reviewed it and I didn't really like it. I thought it was okay at first, but then after like thinking about it, I've only ever seen a movie once in my life.
Really?
Yes, and I refused to watch it again. I literally refused to watch. Like all I did was watch the Jared Leto scenes and watch the Harley Quinn scenes.
Wow.
I refuse to watch that movie again.
I gave it a shot, but I just couldn't do it.
Nah, man, bump that movie, man. Let me see. Oh my God, Ellie Good's comment. Jesse's legs felt like an angry. Jesse has felt like an angry trust fund baby with government funding. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Wonder Woman, y'all know, if y'all have been following me for a while, y'all know how I feel about Wonder Woman, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk too much about it because we're running short on time. But Wonder Woman, 93%, man. I feel like that's a well-deserved rating.
Yeah.
I feel the movie was super strong. Story was amazing. Gal Gadot had a super huge crush on Gal Gadot. She's one of my celeb crushes. I gotta tell my girl, Gal Gadot has to be my celeb crush. I'm allowed one. Look, I have her on the back of my door right there. Okay, I don't play around. Okay, I'm a huge fan of her version of Wonder Woman. I can't wait for Wonder Woman 84. She did an amazing job acting. And I've always liked her version of Wonder Woman. I feel like when we first saw it, that's actually one of the better things about Batman versus Superman was when she showed up.
True.
So I remember seeing the trailer, and I never did reactions at that time. Did I? No, I did. I did do a reaction to the Batman versus Superman trailer when Wonder Woman showed up, and I was like I was freaking out. Like I was freaking out. But anyways, that's all I'll say about that. Justice League 40%. I feel like that's well deserved. I mean, I feel like after the whole switching of directors, it's the same issue with Star Wars. Unfortunately, like when they switch directors, you never switched unless you're the Russo brothers and you have kind of the same mind and the same idea for what you want to do for your movies. Unless you're on the same page, don't switch directors for movies, especially mid-production. It's the worst thing, man. Because you're going to have to, the director is going to be like, nope, I don't like what he did. Nope, I don't like what he did. Like, nope, I don't like what he did. Nope, nope, reshoot. And that's what happened with Justice League, unfortunately. Yep. Okay? I don't think we're going to see the Snyder Cut. Even if we do, it might be some archive thing. Warner Brothers does not want to entertain that anymore, I feel. They're not going to entertain that. They want to move on. They want to retcon their story and move on to something else. Okay, they want to focus on solo stories, and right now Warner Brothers is at a high right now with their DC films. Warner Brothers wants to go back to their Dark Knight trilogy days. That's what they want to go back to. They want to go back to when everybody's mama was talking about the Dark Knight. Everybody, before even the MCU was like thing, everybody was talking about Dark Knight.
True.
Everybody loved the Dark Knight trilogy. Okay, it was revolutionary. Christopher Nolan did an amazing job with it. One of the best things WB ever put out. And they're like, bump this, man. We're not trying to go back to this failed shared universe thing. We're going to try to get it in 5 to 6 years maybe, but we're not going to know.
True.
And they took the good pieces of it and kept it and continued, that's why we got like Wonder Woman coming out with the same actress, Aquaman with the same actor, Shazam with Black Adam coming out. Those movies are going to be with the same actors. But finally, not finally, but moving on to Aquaman, because I can talk about Justice League all day. That's a whole subject. Aquaman 68. I think it deserved more like a 75, 80. I think it deserves an 80 because Jason Momoa did a good job as Arthur Curry. As much as I hate to say it now, but you know what? I have respect for I'll put respect for where respect is due. As an actress, Amber Heard is amazing. She did an amazing job as Mira. Okay, she stole the show. She was beautiful. She was powerful. She was strong. She did her thing, and she was my favorite choice to play Mira. That was so heartbreaking to hear what she did to my boy Johnny Depp. Like when you read the comic books, especially the recent Rebirth stuff for Aquaman, when I see Amber Heard when I saw her on screen as Mira, I was like, okay, she's the one. That's it. She is the right casting choice. And both of them held the show. They did their thing. Aquaman was fun. It kind of had a Marvel feel to it. It was funny. It was, it was serious at points. It was emotional, story, character development. I feel like the movie had all of that. Okay, I feel like the movie did those things correctly. I feel like they handled the villain properly. All right, with Ocean Master. I feel like they did the right thing. Hey, what's up, Big Girl Geek? Yeah, man, like I feel Aquaman should have been rated a lot higher because the soundtrack was really good too, man. Like, the soundtrack was amazing. It was done by who made the soundtrack again, man? It's slipping me. It's actually one of my favorite composers. Who did the soundtrack again? Was it Alan? Who did it? I'm searching it up right now.
Oh, okay.
Rupert Gregson. Yes, Rupert Gregson Williams. The same guy who did Chronicles of Narnia and also Wonder Woman did Aquaman 2. Soundtrack was beautiful, man. Donnie's soundtrack is lit. All right, so you got to watch it.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on, and we're going to get to our last topic, guys. This is the one that you guys have been waiting for, the title of the stream. Shazam, 90%. I'm gonna just agree with what Donnie said on that. I'm not gonna really add too much more comments to it, but everything he said is pretty much what I said, what I agree with. It was fun, funny. Zachary Levi, perfect. Yeah, man, it's a good, really good movie. Looking forward to the next one. And Birds of Prey, 86%. I agree with that. I also agree with that. I had my issues with it. If you guys didn't see my spoiler-free review, go check it out. But I had my issues with it. But overall, I think it was a good movie. But yeah, man, do you have anything else you want to say about that before we get to our last and final topic for today, our main topic of today?
I'm ready.
You good, man? All right, let's do this thing, man. You ready? Okay, guys. So we're gonna be talking about our top 5. This is the last topic for today, and then we'll answer some questions and we'll be out of here. Because Oscar's actually starting an hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I may or may not watch it live. I don't know. But top 5 superhero films. Now I'm making this clear right now. For me, this is completely biased. This is completely this. I'm not looking at Well, I am looking at storytelling and all that stuff, but this is how I feel about the movies and how I think about the entire subject. So it's gonna be 100% biased, okay? And this list will change in like 2 weeks, okay? This list is always changing. But Donnie, go ahead. You go ahead and start with your number 5. What is your number 5? And this is gonna be top 5 superhero movies of all time.
Okay, wait. Should we first tell them the list that they have to see?
No. This is our thing. We just gonna do our thing.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. So my number 5 is Spider-Man 2.
Okay. All right. Oh wow, I didn't even put any of them on my list. I should have. Why did you put Spider-Man 2 as your number 5?
Honestly, it was one of the few superhero movies that made me want to live in that universe. Like, he did such a well job with the atmosphere, especially the whole train scene.
Oh,
and
beautiful!
Oh
man, yes.
It really like put me in the zone of the movie itself, like of that universe. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely on number 5 for me.
Okay. You go. What's your number 4? You just gonna go for it. You know what? Actually, no. I'll give my number 5.
Okay.
You should do it like that way, right?
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, call it a to be continued list. So I actually am going to change my number 5 just because you mentioned it. My number 5 is going to be Spider-Man 2 as well. But I'll tell you what I changed it from. My number 5 was Aquaman.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna change it to Spider-Man 2. I totally forgot those movies. I totally forgot I could think of those. But yeah, for me, yeah, like you said, man, Spider-Man 2, Dr. Ock, and the whole world, like, as you know, as being young, like, I had such a crush on Mary Jane. And I was like, man, I was a kid. I was like, man, he has the girl, he has the powers, he has the life. I want to be Spider-Man, daggone it. I want to be Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah. And then, like, you saw what he went through and the whole temporal loss of his powers and him dealing with, you know, being a regular human man and all that stuff, man. You know, all the challenges and all that was really nice. You know, and I definitely feel like the way how he built the movie was good. Like you said, it was a good, nice world building. Especially like you know, New York and all that stuff like that, man. Like seeing these areas, you feel like you can live there. Like you live there. Like you feel like you walk down. Like I could walk down the street in Manhattan right now and be like, I could see Spider-Man swinging through these skyscrapers right now. Yeah, I could see Spider-Man chilling out in Queens, in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, just swinging. I could see it. And I'm like, okay. I was
working in an office, and the building that Harry lived in the movies was right across from me. And I geeked out. I was like, this is the building.
Man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I agree with that one. You're number 4, brother. Go ahead.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, okay. Why is that your number 4?
Same reason. Like, the world building was really good. And it made me wish that it wasn't going to end, actually. I remember watching it with Jay, my girlfriend, and being like, oh, like, this is seriously amazing. Like, I really wish that this never stopped, ever. And could just stay here watching everything that happened. And I feel like that's important for me in a comic book movie, especially, like, the atmosphere itself.
My number 5, I mean, my number 4 is also Into the Spider-Verse. And it's also my number 4. For the same reasons as you, man. Into the Spider-Verse was definitely, the soundtrack was amazing. Miles was finally brought to life on screen. That was amazing. Like, you know, his, you know, the Hispanic African American aspect of his culture was really nice to see, because that to me is New York. Like when you think of Queens, when you think of Brooklyn, when you think of the Bronx, you got that Hispanic African American culture. It's a melting pot. You love, especially you go to those areas, man. There's so many areas I would see. You see a lot of you know, biracial Hispanic, you know, black kids, and you know, and I know actually a few people when I went to see the first time. There was actually a lot of families that were like that were mixed like that. And I was like, man, like, wow, this character really means a lot to a lot of people.
Yep.
And I'm like, because you're looking around and you're like, who, you ever go to the movies and you sit down and you look at the demographic and you look at the people in the movies and you're like, wow, these are the people that are here to watch this movie. Yep. Like when I went to see Wonder Woman, I saw a lot of women. Obviously, I saw a lot of men too. But in this one, I saw a lot of mixed families and you know, Hispanic culture, black culture, and everybody came together, and it was really cool. And I thought that was nice. And I feel like Miles truly represents New York, and I feel like the idea of Miles represents New York. For and you know, being someone who lives in the area as well, like, and someone who's always in the city, like, I feel like I walk in the street and see Miles. You know, I feel like I can just be like, I feel like he's like one of my homies. Like he's somebody I can talk to, like somebody I went to school with, you know, like, and like you mentioned, the movie was just beautiful. The comic book art style that it had to it, you know, just the action, everything was just really nice, man. Real quick, shout out to channel member. I always gotta shout out my members when I see them. Shout out to Hyper Ryan, man. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? But yeah, man, Sway Lee and Post Malone song, Sunflower. Literally, man, I listened to that song. I remember the first time I heard it. I listened to it. I sitting like just laying down in my bed. I listened to it like 10 times on repeat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I am not kidding. I just had it on repeat, looping. Needless to say, I keep. Man, I just had that thing playing out.
And they did it perfectly. With him singing it too, it was perfect.
It made me laugh a lot, man.
Yep.
So okay, we're down to our top 3, and next time, bro, we gotta do like a top 10, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do like a top 10. Top 5 is so hard, man.
It is.
You're number 3. Go ahead.
I'll tell you right now, one that didn't make the list that I wanted to put in 3, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it, is Sky High. You remember Sky High?
What? Heck yeah! Man, shoot.
I was like, like I want to put it in the list, but I don't want to because I like these other ones more. But okay.
Sky High was a fire film.
Yes.
I don't care what nobody say.
But okay, my number 3 is Iron Man.
Nice.
Yeah,
before you explain why, Cliff said, "Is it fair to put Spider-Verse because is it fair to put Spider-Verse because you can do anything with a cartoon?"
True.
Yes, I say yes. You know why I say yes? I say yes because yes, you can do anything. Look, you can do anything with live action too. Because of CGI, you can do anything with CGI now. Look, we were talking about earlier, Mandalorian being completely shot inside. You can literally stay in a room and film a movie that feels like you're all over the world.
True.
So I really don't see I feel like they can be evenly thing, but yes, there is an advantage for animation. However, it's about the story.
Yeah.
It's about storytelling because I could read Into the Spider-Verse as a book, and I feel like I would still enjoy it. I may not enjoy it the same way, but I still feel like I would enjoy it just as much, just because the story itself was really good. Yeah, and it told, and just the acting, because remember, it's acting, voice acting is still acting, and if you can convey emotions through voice, I feel is one of the most impressive things. You know, like how you talk, how you how you carry a story, like your interactions with other characters who you vocalize with. Like I feel like that. I mean, what do you think, Donnie?
I agree 100%. I think as long as it's in like a film format where it's the allotted time it has to be, and it's telling a story, and it's not like next time on Into the Spider-Verse kind of ending, then I think everything is good. I think it should still count. But I can see where he is like, should it at the same time, because it is animated, so it's a slight difference.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it should count personally.
No, I get that, but I think it counts, man. Like, I mean, and again, it's just my opinion, you know. It's just how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like storytelling can take many forms, and if you're comparing story and if you're comparing like superhero film, because it's still a superhero movie,
Yeah.
it's still a film. It's still a legit film, even though it's animation. It's still a film.
Yeah.
You know, if you were comparing, like, because look, all of these super. You know, okay, another even technical reason I have to say that you can compare it is because all of these superhero movies that are on these lists all have virtual effects.
Yeah.
All of them have animation effects.
True.
So I think it could count because a lot of them have keyframing, CGI, animation, props, a mocap, you know?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Groot is mocap, you know? Motion capture, you got to rely on voice actors. So I think it can count. I think it can count on a technical standpoint. But yeah, you were saying your number 3.
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay, go ahead. Explain why Iron Man. The first Iron Man?
Yeah, first Iron Man.
All right, take it away, brother.
It caught me off guard. It caught me by surprise, and it had a big impact on me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was solid in its story. It was solid in like accomplishing what they were hoping for it to accomplish, which is building the universe we have now. And I feel like it all, like no matter what box they were trying to check, they checked it with Iron Man alone. So I feel like it's a solid superhero movie. It should definitely be in my top 5.
Okay.
How about you? What's your 3?
My number 3 is actually Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yes, it is. And I tell you, this could change like in 5 minutes. But but the reason, look, man, I'm sorry to say this, but like Wonder Woman has my heart forever. Okay? I was even really highly considering getting a Wonder Woman tattoo, man. Like I was really thinking about it too. I was really thinking about it like super hard. Cause like I'm a fan of Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman. I just love the movie. I love the character. From what I said earlier, like I'm not gonna go on a rant again about how much I love it, but you know I've pretty much already said what I liked about it when I was talking about the ratings. But I just think it's I just think it's one of the best superhero movies that we've seen in a while. I think it was a movie that was needed. You know, I like what it stood for, man. Like,
yeah.
I just like it. I like it, man. Wonder Woman is Matthew V. Haynes officially certified as of February 9th, 2020. Because it might change tomorrow, y'all. My number 3 might be sky high. You never know. But yes, Wonder Woman is very beautiful. The movie itself is very beautiful, man. It's a very good movie. I loved it. I love the camaraderie. Like Chris Pine did a good job. Like I feel, you know, I'm kind of still halfway for Wonder Woman 84. I want to know what they do with it, but oh man, do I love Wonder Woman or Gal Gadot? No, I genuinely love like Wonder Woman as a character too. Like, yes, I do love Gal Gadot, and I do feel like she does bring the character justice. And as I mentioned earlier, like she's been my celeb crush for a long time especially since Fast 5. So like, yes, but Wonder Woman. Look, even I can't take it off right now because my computer's on it. But I have a book called Wonder Woman: Gods and Mortals, by George Perez. I love Wonder Woman as a character. The comic books, the novel that came out, I read. Like, I like Wonder Woman as a character, as a DC character. In Injustice 2, I always play as Wonder Woman. When the last time I played Injustice 2, I always pick Wonder Woman. So I do like it. Reese Francis says to each his own. You think it's overrated? That's fine, man. Like, honestly, if you think it's overrated, that's cool, bro. Like, do you live your life. You know, you do you. But okay, it's a fair question, Big Girl Geek. If God wasn't playing her, would you want to see and don't say Angelina? Who would you want to see? Don't say Angelina Jolie. I'm not even that big of a fan of Angelina Jolie, to be honest. I actually would have liked to see, believe it or not. Right? How is Han still alive? I was talking about this earlier. I ranted about it. Someone said, Matthew, you should change your YouTube name to Wonder Woman Superfan. Nah, it's not marketable, man. I'm gonna get trademark infringement. But I can't sell those. But who would I choose? Believe it or not, Natalie Portman.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Only because they're literally both from the same country.
Oh.
They do have very similar facial features. But I feel Natalie Portman is a good actress. I don't know. People don't give her the respect she deserves, man. I feel like she's really good, man. And I feel like she did a good job as Padme, too.
Okay, yeah. Padme, even though there was like more crying than anything else, sure. But
you think it was more crying?
It was like more crying than anything.
Nah, bro. You need to rewatch the prequels. You need to rewatch the prequels, Donnie. You need to rewatch the prequels. I will fight for Natalie Portman. Okay? I will fight over Natalie Portman. Natalie, I feel like, okay, if you look at it, okay. First of all, she was ready to scrap in Phantom Menace. She wasn't playing with nobody.
Okay.
This girl was like, all right, shoot, I'm going to get me a doppelganger. Right? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go out in the hood. I'm going to go in Tatooine. Look, Padme step into the hood, bro. You don't go to Tatooine. You don't go to Tatooine without backup. You don't go to Tatooine without backup, man. True. Come on now. So this girl stepped up in there, and then in Attack of the Clones, she didn't necessarily depend on Anakin to do what she had to do. This girl had a blaster. This girl was like, pew, 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 pew.
I give you that.
This girl like, shoot, I'm scrapping. This girl running off, jumping off and stuff. She was not waiting for Anakin. Even in the Clone Wars, she wasn't waiting on Anakin. She's like, bump this, bro. So nah. She only started crying more in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, true.
That's when the crying started getting too much. Eli says Natalie's a little itty bitty lady. She is very tiny, but I still feel. I mean, that's who I would choose, man. I would choose her to be one of them. If not her, I don't know. I can't think of any other actress off the bat besides Gal that could play. Yes, no, Natalie is 4 feet. You know, you're right. I mean, it's not realistic. Like if you want, no, you guys are totally right. I ain't even gonna argue with y'all on that.
She just has the look.
She has the look. I feel.
Okay.
I feel like she has the look. I feel like she can look like her. If she were to like to cosplay, yes, thank you. The Timekeeper. Natalie looks a bit like Gal Gadot. She does. They're both from Israel. They both have very similar features on their face.
I would have chosen Rachel Weisz.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking this whole time.
I can see that. Yeah. No, I can totally agree with that. I mean, she was in Lord of the Rings too, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can see that. No, I can agree with that. She knows how to use weapons. All right. Oh, what about the twin wrestler? Oh, the Bella twins? Yeah, actually, yes. I can see Nikki Bella or Brie Bella looking like Gal Gadot. I mean, like Gal Gadot, like Wonder Woman. But can they act like her? Can they pull off Wonder Woman acting? That's the real question, I feel. Someone said, I refuse to watch any scenes with Anakin and Padme ever again. Hey, man, just appreciate the prequels for what they are, bro. They're not the best. You know, George Lucas wasn't the best at romance. We all know this. All right? His definition of love was like, I would die for you, Padme. When you came into my life, I was torn. He's no better at writing romance than Masashi Kishimoto from Naruto. Like, they suck at writing. But anyways, I think we should move on. I didn't think Gal had. Okay, Cliff said I didn't think Gal had the look, but she proved me wrong. Yeah, a lot of people were against her.
Yeah,
a lot of people were against her for sure.
Felt that way. I agree.
Okay, let's move on, man. Yeah. You're number 2.
My number 2 is The Dark Knight.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and why is that?
Because
the first one, right? Or, no, the second one.
Yeah,
Dark
second
Knight.
one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the same reason as the first Iron Man. Like, it did everything. Like, it hit all the right marks. And I was genuinely hyped about Heath Ledger's Joker. Mm-hmm. And then, sadly he passed away, and then they had to write him out of The Dark Knight Rises, which is really disappointing. But
yeah,
it got me like an intense amount of hype to the point that I remember as soon as I got home, I was like, I need to see this again. And at that time, like, I was a kid, so I wasn't really gonna go watch it again, but I tried to see it as much as possible.
Oh yeah,
I was obsessed with it. So definitely a big impact and definitely something that I think deserves the praise that it gets. But how about you? What's your...
You're definitely on the mark with it. I do feel in an alternate universe, Earth 15 Matthew would choose that as his number 2.
Yeah.
But my number 2 is actually Joaquin's Joker.
Oh, okay. But then again, that's not a superhero movie, Matt.
Is it though?
Is it? He's a villain.
But it's a superhero genre.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it counts.
Yeah, it's
because
true.
There's not too many super villain movies.
True.
I feel like it counts because it's the same theme. Think about it. It's a superhero film because of the character and his ties to a superhero. Because that's like saying Morbius or Venom isn't a superhero film. Because Venom is an anti-hero.
True.
And there's not many anti-hero movies, too. I mean, there's a couple. There's a few you can name. But people still consider it a superhero film. I'm only thinking about it as a genre perspective. So that's kind of why I chose it. I'm tweaking the system, but it works. I can defend it. I can defend it. I can defend it. Okay. Okay. Take me to court. I will stand my case. Actually, no. Do not do that. But I will. Do not do that. But okay. I chose Joker obviously for obvious reasons, man. Put it this way: Was Joker really the villain?
Yeah, I mean.
The world was so mean to him. That's the controversy about the movie. But no, he did some horrible things, though. He did some horrible things. No, he's definitely not a hero by any means. He was a hero to the people. He was a hero to the people in the movie, though.
Yeah.
So in turn, couldn't that be? Oh my God, the Joker is a hero. He saved DC ties.
I just read the same thing. That's great.
Oh man. Okay. Y'all are too funny tonight, man. Hold on. I can't hear you. I lost my hearing. Cliff, I see you comment. I'm about to defend my case. Okay. Cliff says, not the same, Matt. There was nothing good about Joker compared. Bruh. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say this right now. As I said it earlier. If you really think about it, right? Venom didn't do anything good either. He was trying to save his behind. If you really think about it, Venom was just saving his behind. Venom was like,
girl though,
because he needed what's his face to Tom Hardy to be him so he could live. So he would do anything for him because he needed his body. He needed a host. That's the only reason why he was with him. Yeah. Venom didn't do nothing good. He did. What he did may have. Cliff Washington, he killed a talk show host. No, he's not a hero. But think about it, though. Think about it. I'm defending this. I will stand by that. Venom was selfish. Venom was a selfish symbiote. Okay? Venom was like, bruh, look, man, I'm finna die. I need a host. Which person can I attach to be my host? I mean, I probably should. This guy's the only one able to handle me. Because remember, he was going from host to host. He was trying things. And then Eddie was like, he's like, man, I need Eddie. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure my host is safe and happy. Because I don't want my host to die. Because if my host die, I'm dead. And you remember, Venom was the lowest rank in his whole species.
True.
He was trying to kill the leader. He was trying to kill the general brother. He was trying to kill the guy.
True.
So that's the only reason why he destroyed the place and sent him off, because he was selfish. Change my mind. Hashtag change my mind. I'm telling you right now.
Cliff is right. Venom stopped the world from being taken over.
Only because he was selfish. If it had nothing to do with him, his actions may have resulted in doing something good for people, but the only reason he was doing it, he wasn't doing it because he wanted to save people. He did it because he wanted to save himself. He didn't want to have any threats. He didn't want to have... I'm talking about Timekeeper. I'm talking about the movie. At this point in the movie, Bane is not introduced. Carnage and all that stuff. Carnage is introduced, but to save the Earth, he didn't try to save the Earth. He didn't care about the Earth. Yo, did y'all see the same movie I saw? Donnie, am I tripping? Is what I'm saying not making sense, Donnie? Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
They were trying to launch a spaceship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weren't they?
They were trying to what were they trying to? They were trying to. You mean the symbiotes?
Yeah.
I think they were trying to take over the Earth because they needed a new planet.
Yeah.
I think their world got destroyed.
So there you go. He's right.
It's not okay, Cliff. It's not. Joker did nothing good in the movie. He didn't really do anything. Okay. Oh, name one good thing the Joker did. He took care of his mom. Miss me. He took care of his mom. he let the short guy live.
Yeah. Real quick, Ellie Gage just said, "My vote for the Oscar tonight goes to Matt's Venom impersonation."
No, change my mind. I am telling you guys right now. Don't try to tell me that Venom did any of this stuff because Captain America destroyed evil because he cared about the Earth, he cared about the planet, he cared about humans and his people. That's a hero. But people still consider Venom a superhero movie. But he's not a hero. Yeah. A hero is somebody who does selfless acts. Someone who cares about the betterment of other people and other beings besides them, and that's why they put themselves on the line. That's why a soldier who cares about his country and his people would put himself on the line to protect people. Venom didn't care about nobody but himself. Venom cared about himself. Venom was selfish. Selfish is not the trait of a hero, man. Come on, y'all. That's why it's called an anti-hero. That's the whole purpose of an anti-hero. Deadpool's an anti-hero. He does things for himself, but his acts might in turn be good.
Not Deadpool 2.
No, okay, that's different. But Deadpool, as by character definition, he wasn't the Joker when he was taking care of his mom. Nah, he was still the same person. He was always that. And look, and check this out. I will defend this, man. Look, I'm defending this right now. Arthur Fleck, his name might not have even been the Joker, but he was always the same person. It's just that certain events caused him to fully accept himself. He was always that person. He was before he became the Joker, he was mentally damaged. He already had issues with his brain. He already was dealing with and struggling with things and trying to fit in with society, and different things triggered his brain and his body to respond. He was already that way. It's not like if he just went through some overnight thing and he was like, "Oh, I'm good one day," and the next day I'm a bad guy. He was always that way. Even in his books, he was writing things about killing. And if you look at his diary, he was talking about killing and suicide, a bunch of weird looking, evil, demonic stuff. This man was writing a bunch of stuff in his book.
True.
Y'all miss me with that, man. I can't, bro. I can't. And Cliff, let me say this. Joker is not a hero. Joker is not a hero. Joker is not a hero. I'm not saying he is a hero, but I'm saying in the context of a superhero film. This is why I brought up Venom to begin with. Venom is considered a superhero film, but he's not a hero. Okay? I can consider Joker a superhero film simply for the fact that he exists in a world with superheroes. And it's a genre. A superhero movie is a genre now, man. On the next Nerd Talk, Matt brings the court files to all the anti-hero cases. I'm serious. I will do it. You see, and that's a good point, though. Maybe Arthur felt that he was doing a good thing. Because to a sociopath's mind, they're not necessarily, thinking that they're doing a bad thing all the time. Yeah. Am I wrong?
True.
People who have mental illness, severe mental illness, sometimes don't think that they're doing bad things.
True.
What do you mean? No, you don't have to be selfless to be a hero. If I stop a robbery because my kids are in the store, make me a hero, though I might not. Okay, bro. Okay. You know what? I don't even want to go by my opinion. Let me go. Okay. Let me read what the translation of a hero. A person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. What is a noble quality? Let's find out what noble is. What does noble mean? What does noble mean? Okay? Let's see what noble is. Right? Having or showing fine personal qualities or high moral principles and ideals. If someone says that man is a very noble guy, he's very noble. Man, y'all get me tight, man. We supposed to be talking about our top 5 and we're ranting now. Like, what is this?
This is all just straight gold right now.
A hero.
Pizza rolls like Donnie just silently vibing while Matt's on the rant.
No, Donnie, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
This is great content.
I will bring up the definitions. If I say I am a hero, if I stop a robbery, that's courage. Why are you stopping it though? You're stopping it because you don't want to die and you don't want your daughters to die. If your daughters weren't in the store, would you still stop it? That's the question. If your daughters were not in the store, would you still stop it? If you still stopped it and your daughters were in the store, that means you cared about the people in the store, which goes to confirm the point I was trying to make. Heroes care about other people. If your daughters were not in the store, would you care about them? Would you try to stop the robbery? Let me read your example. You said, and I'm quoting you, if I stop a robbery because my kids are in the store. My kids are in the store. Right? Make me a hero even though I might not do the same if they wasn't in the store. Would you do this if you did the same thing in the store? That's the question. If your kids were not in the store, would you still stop the robbery? And if you did stop the robbery, answer your question. Answer my question. Why would you stop the robbery? Are you in the store? Or are you just walking by the store? I need specific. Exactly. Maybe not. So you're not a hero. Oh. If Captain America, Thanos is a hero now because he wants to bring like balance to the Force? Come on, man. Oh. Man. We need to end this thing. We need to end this thing. We need to end this thing. What's your number one, Donnie? My bad, brother. Go ahead, talk.
My number one is Endgame, just because of the whole, the whole thing of it ending like such a saga and everything is great.
Okay. What was your number one? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Avengers Endgame for sure.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
What was yours?
All right. My number one. My number one was actually Endgame as well.
There you
go. For the same reason. It may have like some writing problems, but I feel like a movie on that scale with all the things has never been done before. So I feel like that should be number one, because it's like we haven't seen something that scale before with so much professionalism, and for it to be executed in a way that was so, beautiful, and it wasn't completely a mess. I feel like that should have been number one until something else comes along and stopped it. All right. True. What do you think?
I agree. And like most of the movies that came after it kind of try to have the big end game finale anyway, so you can't deny like the impact it had.
I am sorry. I'm not going to answer Cliff. Cliff, I love you, brother. Cliff, I love you, brother, but you are not right. You're not right. I don't think you're right. I think you're entitled to your own opinion, and that's fine. And I'm entitled to my own opinion, and that's okay. That's okay. Man. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. That is the most neutral compromise. We can agree to disagree. That's one of the biggest things that ends war sometimes. It ends a war before it begins. Nah, I mean, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not like, even though I may be ranting, I'm not really taking it personally. I'm just, I'm not really like mad or anything, but I'm just like I'm trying to prove my point. Like, this is my thing. Like, if you, again, I'm going back. You know what, Donnie? Should I just drop it, Donnie? You gotta go somewhere, right, Donnie?
I'm joking. I would cancel any dinner plans for this. Just to keep hearing this.
Jesus Christ. Oh my Lord. Matthew, isn't Reverse Flash an anti-hero because he helped the Flash restore the timeline? Yes, that's the perfect example of an anti-hero. You know why? Because his action resulted in something good that benefited the majority of everybody else. But the only reason he did it, his main motive for doing it, was so that he could stay alive. Donnie, am I incorrect?
Yeah. I see what's messing this up for me is that I haven't seen Venom in a while, so I can't tell you exactly if you're right or wrong.
I remember the movie clearly, man. I remember the movie, and not even that. Look at Venom as a character, though. Do you know much about Venom besides the movie?
Not too much.
Look, This is the thing, right? In the movie, and I remember the movie very clearly, guys. Like, I remember that movie. I've seen it a couple times. Venom needed Eddie Brock, and a matter of fact, he was threatening, and I think Eddie even brought up to him, like, you know, why don't he kill him and stuff like that. He needs him. He needs Eddie Brock, because if he doesn't have, that's why it's a symbiotic relationship, right? For those of y'all who don't know what symbiotic means, I will read you the Google definition of symbiotic. Okay? Y'all should have learned this in elementary school. Symbiotic, involving interaction between two different organisms living in a closely physical association, denoting a mutually beneficial relationship between different people or groups. Okay? Layman's terms, they need each other to survive. Okay? It's like the biggest example they would give about the elephants in Africa and the birds. Okay, the birds go and they eat the bugs off the elephant's back. It provides food for the birds, and the birds get their backs cleaned. All right? Venom is a literal parasite. He is a parasite. He needs to bond with a host and to live. They need each other. Thank you. Some people know about Venom. Thanks is an anti-hero because it was fixing. Yes. They need each other to survive. That's the whole point of Venom. That's the only reason why because Venom is powerful enough to kill Eddie Brock. But he won't do it because Eddie was the only person that he found so far in the movie that was able to withstand him. The one that was able to tolerate him. His body was the only thing that was physically capable of tolerating the symbiotic relationship. Because the doctor was doing some experiments beforehand with other people, and they didn't live. They died because they couldn't handle the symbiote. Yeah. So Venom needs Eddie. Eddie doesn't necessarily need Venom, but he can use Venom. Yeah. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think Eddie did need Venom because I think he was sick and he was dying too. That was another thing too. Eddie was sick.
Did he get stabbed or something like that at one point?
He was sick. He was sick with something, and Venom was kind of keeping him alive. All right. Yeah. Matt, it's been almost 3 years since I discovered you. Was looking for someone, react and Saboteur reveal, and then you know. Thanks, man. Thanks. Venom saved the Earth. So how do you think people of Earth would look at Venom if they knew? Cliff, like a hero. Just because someone views you as a hero doesn't necessarily mean that's what you are. Okay? Venom could save the day one day, and then tomorrow go destroy a whole lab because it needs something that he wants and kills people in the process. It's the same thing with Morbius. Morbius is considered an anti-hero. Okay? Yeah, Eddie had cancer. That's right. He had cancer.
Okay. I totally forgot that.
No, he had cancer, and the symbiote actually kept him alive. So they literally needed each other. I don't know what more to say. If somebody looks, okay, I can give a good example. If I'm married, right, and a girl looks at me and thinks I'm single, does it mean I'm single? Just because everybody looks at me and thinks that I'm single, does it mean I'm single? No. What's the truth about the situation? Huh?
True.
I got locks in my hair. This is like basic examples. I don't know why we're talking about this. I have locks in my hair, and someone says Matthew has an afro. Because everybody thinks that I have an afro, does it mean I have an afro? No, I have locks in my hair. I don't have an afro. It's the same thing with Venom.
Like Mysterio and being a hero.
Yes. People looked at Mysterio for being a hero. But he wasn't. People may look at Venom as being a hero, but his main motive for doing what he did was for selfish purposes, man. Why can't y'all see that? It was for selfish reasons. The man had a general. He was the lowest rank in his whole. It's not a bad example. That's not a bad example. That is not a bad example. That's not a bad example. It's like okay. It's like I hate to bring this up because of what's going on. But let's say a guy. Okay, I have a new better example. If a guy okay, I ain't judging him. Okay. Anyways, if a guy like hugs a girl or something, right? And it's an honest, innocent hug. And she reports that it's sexual harassment. And this is a whole different conversation. But anyway, she reports that it's sexual harassment. If everybody on internet is going with the wave that it's sexual harassment, does it mean that this guy is a you know, someone who's a sexual offense person or whatever? Does that mean that that's who he is?
No.
Come on, man. I don't get it, man. I can give so many different examples with so many different situations. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I don't know. I could sit here for like another hour and listen to
like,
this
bro.
talk.
I can go to the gym. I can go to the gym because I want to lose weight, but somebody could think that I'm going to the gym because I'm trying to look good for a movie. Does that mean I'm trying to look good for a movie? No, I'm trying to lose weight. What's my reason for doing it? Okay, Matt, he saved the world. That's a fact. We're not arguing that. We're not saying he didn't. Donnie, am I saying that Venom didn't save the world?
No, you're saying should it be counted as a superhero movie, Joker and Venom?
Right. I'm not. Look, let me make Cliff. Let me make my point. All right, Pizza Rogue, enjoy your dinner, guys. Let me make my point.
Later,
for those who are watching this after, let me try to explain this as clearly as I can. And if there's any error to what I'm saying, please correct me. But I don't think there's an error in what I'm saying. But I'm humble enough to say, correct me if I'm wrong. But here's what I'm saying. Okay? I will. Oh my God, horrible example. Okay. Let me explain what I'm saying. Venom. I did not say that Venom did not save the world. Venom did save the world. What he did, it resulted in the world being saved and not being run over from a bunch of parasites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? My point is that I brought up the hero definition by saying a hero is someone who's selfless and does things for the betterment of other people. They put themselves on the line to take and to protect other people. That's the definition of a true hero. Venom is not a true hero because he only saved the world because he was saving himself. His motive for doing if those generals and stuff had no effect on him and what was going on had no effect to Venom, he probably would have just left it alone and didn't do anything about it. Okay? But he only did it because it was going to save himself and he needed to get them off because they posed a threat to him. So his reasons for doing it weren't necessarily in the true heroic nature, but the result of what he did would appear to be heroic. So I am agreeing with you on that, but I'm saying in truth about it, he's not necessarily a hero. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that Joker is not a villain. Joker is 100% a villain. I was only saying that it's a superhero film because of the association that the character has with other heroes, like for instance, like Batman.
Yeah.
But no, Joker is not a hero film. You know what? If you want to end the debate, let's end the debate. My number two is Guardians of the Galaxy. Great. Joker's not on the list anymore. Okay, we're not going laundry day. Look, man, Here, man. Let's all agree to disagree. I'm going by textbook definition of a hero. All right. When I think of a hero, like, you never seen a show when someone says, "Oh my God, you're my hero," and the dude's like, "I'm not your freaking hero. The heck? I just did this because I was like gonna die."
Yeah.
All right. You may be a hero to someone else, but that person, by definition, might not be a hero. True. Guys, please try to consider what I'm saying. I hear what you guys are saying, and I am hearing what you guys are saying, but please consider what I'm saying. Okay? Consider what I'm saying. Donnie, do you have any objections to what I'm saying? Please be truthful.
Honestly, I don't. I understand what you're saying. I agree that Venom is a anti-hero. He's not necessarily a hero. And I agree that Joker counts because it's, in the same universe as a superhero movie. So, yeah, I agree. It counts.
I mean, I'm only saying I only put it as a superhero movie for the sake of categorization.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? For the sake of categorization, I would say it's a superhero film. But by actual definition, like, it's not a superhero movie. It's not a movie about superheroes. He's a villain. It was a story about a guy. And then again, there's some people who literally argue that Joker was actually a movie about a man who was mistreated and wanted redemption.
Yeah.
And saved his city from money-hungry people like Thomas Wayne. Some people said that. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily agree with that, but some people said it, Yeah. Venom symbiote. Is Venom symbiote? Okay, anyways. True, I like playing devil's advocate. You little bandit. Always gonna mess with me, man. But saving the Earth was due to Venom being motivated by... Thank you, man. Thank you, Reese. Yeah. Look, Donnie is like, when you hear a hero, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think of Venom.
Right? If you were to say hero, what are the characteristics, the first characteristics that come to you?
Selfless.
And don't go based off of what I say. Just come your own thing.
Absolutely selfless. Like somebody who's willing to sacrifice himself, like Spider-Man, like constantly.
Of course, man. Spider-Man is one of the truest heroes out there.
Word.
Mm-hmm. And like again, I would say Captain America. Captain America, broken shield and everything, was like strapping his shield on. Like, no, I'm saving the Earth from you. I don't care if I die in the process.
Yep.
Captain America went into the military as a skinny man who can't even lift weights because he loved his country and he was very patriotic. There's people for different.
On that grenade.
He jumped in front of a grenade because he wanted to protect people. That's a true hero, man. If Venom was there and the grenade had nothing to affect the Venom, would be like, shoot, man, I'm out of here, man. Shoot, I'm out of here. Eddie, let me go, man. Let's go. If Venom was black, and I'm like, you shoot, man, Eddie, let's get out of here, man. Go get some pizza, man. Shoot, I'm hungry. Let's go bite off some heads. But Captain America, grenade, he don't care. Those people were bullying him. Those people were harassing him. And he jumped in front of that grenade because he was like, no, I want to save these people.
Yeah.
It's like, so look at Superman. Superman is a true hero. Everything he's done. Oh, yeah. The man is saving people who literally are racist to him.
Yeah.
They're alienating him, like literally, because he's an alien.
Yeah.
They hate him so much, but yet he still goes out there and saves people because he can.
Yep.
That's a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, man, we're gonna be done with this, man. We went over our limit. We're done. Feel free to disagree with me, guys. It's all good. That's why we have, that's why we all have opinions and stuff. Like, I'm not taking it personally, y'all. For real, I'm really not. We all have opinions. You don't have to agree with me. It's okay. I don't have to agree with you. That's why we have a community, because we can all come together and share our opinions, man. And I won't judge you for your opinions. I will defend my opinion if I think I'm right. But, you have every right to defend yours too. And I'm not going to try to, tell you that, I'm going to try to tell you that you're wrong, but but if you don't feel that you're wrong, then that's fine, man. Like, honestly, in all actuality, it's okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, besides that, guys, even with the rant, it was a good stream. The Oscars are tonight. It's about to start. I will check it out. I will pass through the channel and see what's going on. But thank you, Donnie, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on the stream and us having a little discussion and and ending in a rant. And you're just watching me for entertainment. It's all good. No, but thanks, bro. Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for coming out. Definitely gonna try to have Donnie come back on again because this is my bro. We always have these conversations, but I figured, it'd be better to have these conversations on camera.
True.
Because we always talk about these things like through text and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, when we hang out. Cliff, thank you so much for giving these people entertainment. I love you, bro. It's all good. I love you, Cliff, man.
I like Haynes said, I defend my right to return for next week's Nerd Talk. Nice seeing you, Cliff.
But I'm glad you guys enjoyed the stream, though. Reese, Laundry Day, everyone who's been here for the whole nearly 2 hours. Actually, 2 hours. Thank you guys. Longer than what I planned on doing. But yeah, Danny, Laundry, all y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for being here, man. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Does Donnie have YouTube yet?
No, I do not. But soon, hopefully. I do have Instagram though, which is what he put for the name title there. So
yep.
Feel free.
Yeah, feel free to check out his Instagram, Dino the Misfit.
Yeah.
Check out my Instagram and Twitter at Matthew V. Haynes. Cliff. I love you, Cliff, man. Cliff is a good friend, supporter of the channel. So I'm grateful for this community. I'm grateful for you guys. And those who are watching this on the replay, thank you so much for watching it. Return Nerd Talk will be. I'll have another. I try to do at least 2 Nerd Talks a week, like maybe one on Sunday, maybe one during the week by myself. I normally do one during the week by myself, and then depending on the news, and then I do one with guests on Sunday. So I'll definitely I'll talk to Donnie after this, and we'll see if we can do another one if he's down. But Donnie, if you want to run the show too, let me know. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna sit back and be like, you run Nerd Talk, and I'll be your guest.
All right.
Yeah,
maybe next time it'll be like in person, so it's not so like weird quality. Or
this is fine too. I mean, people like it, Right? But thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one, man.